Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Let's Play. I am your host, MeleeWizard, and the game I'll be playing for you today is Legacy of the Wizard, a game that I believe gets more love than it should. I mean, needs more love than it gets, rather, I'm sorry. It's basically a rather well-done adventure game from 1990. And for those that have never played before, it is really hard because you get no clues whatsoever as to where to find anything. So pretty much you'll have to just be wandering around blindly, or you're going to be looking up maps online. So, and here we have the Warzin family. We have the father Xemn, the mother Mayna, the daughter Lyll, the son Roas, and the family dog Pochi. We also have the grandparents, but they deal with all the password stuff, and we won't be talking to them. So first off, we're going to be sending out Pochi. And the first thing we're going to see is this item screen here, so where we can get whatever items we gather on our journeys. Well, the ones with the purple numbers are the ones that that character cannot use. So, and we have our strength, our jump height, and our shot distance. And as you can see, Pochi is quite limited in what he's able to do in that regard, but he makes up for it in the fact that, being a monster in his own right, the creatures you run across will not harm you. In fact, the only way for Pochi to take damage is either falling from a great height, hitting spikes, or from the boss, various boss monsters who aren't fooled by that sort of thing. And also, Pochi has full auto capabilities, which looks cool, but it can drain your magic really quickly. And those chests there, they have various things in them. Some have special items, like the ones we saw on that screen before, but also they can have some energy and life replenishment, like bring your life and magic or magic back up to 99. Those are one-time use. Actually every chest is one-time use. Once you find them and get what's inside them, you will never see them again. So, like for those life and magic replenishers, it's probably best that you make sure that you actually do need them, because, like I said, you won't have a second chance at them. And you have your shops, where each shop has 2 items up for sale. Usually way overpriced, but yeah, so oh well. You also have the inns, where you can spend 10 gold and refill your magic and life back up to 99, and also trade in some of your rearrange some of your items. You can bring some in, send some back, that sort of thing. And when most people play this game, there are 4 crowns to be had in this game. You have to get the 4 crowns, then from there you can get the Dragon Slayer, and then take on the Dragon Keela. For most people, they go about the crowns in the order of Pochi, Lyll, Mayna, and Xemn, because those are the 4 people that are suggested to get each crown in turn. However, for this run, I will be doing it in reverse, for reasons that will become apparent soon enough. And you saw I just grabbed a handy glove. The glove is one of a trio of block manipulators. There's a special type of blocks that you'll see often throughout the dungeons. I'll point them out when I see one. And there are 3 items that can manipulate them in some fashion or another. With the glove, you can push them around. With the mattock, you can destroy them. And with the wand, some people call it the crossbow, you can send them flying to the other end of the room, provided something else doesn't get in the way first. And those 3 items are used by Xemn, Lyll, and Mayna respectively. And they are far outside of the crowns and the Dragon Slayer. They are the most important items in the game. If you don't get them, you will not beat the game. Straight up, no joking around there. And that treasure chest has some energy, and I'm going to go ahead and show that. And there you go. And there's also the rare treasure chest that has 20 keys in it. Some has gold that you've already seen. So, I just lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. And there we have a crystal ball, which you can use to return back to the surface, no matter where you are, which is a very handy thing if you ever become trapped or something. So, as long as there's an inn within reasonable distance, then as long as you have a crystal in stock and 10 gold to spend, then you'll have a way to get out of there. Ah, no! I'm trying to go up. And there's a certain system for how enemies drop items. You see up there you have your life, your magic, and your gold. Well, I'll get to that in a moment. So heading back in, and we're going to be taking out Xemn. And we're going to be grabbing the glove. Going to leave the crystal where it's at. We won't be needing that here. So, as I was saying, you have your life, your magic, and your gold. And for the most part, what enemies drop depends on those three things. Like, whichever one is the lowest is the one that gets dropped. Like the magic right there. And then you'll also have your various other things that can appear at random, and like the poison, which takes out 5 life. That scroll there, which doubles your speed and your shot distance, and which frankly is sometimes more trouble than it's worth. You have keys, rings that make you invincible for a while. But basically the gold, life, and magic is the most common things that'll drop for you. Now, you see this block here? It's not a block. It's actually an enemy. And this is a good lesson to learn for people first starting out with this game. If an enemy does not move, it will hurt you. As you see, that one just hit me for 10. Because there are some enemies that hit even harder than that, and we'll be meeting them soon enough. And here we're in the dragon room. You saw the dragon there on the right side. This is basically the branching off point for the paths to each crown. Here we're going to the top left one. That chest has life in it. And each path eventually leads to one of the crowns. And each crown is best suited to one of the family members. And we're going down onto Xemn's path here. And here we have this treasure chest that has the key. And as far as these items are concerned, I plan on getting every item, at least one of every one of these special items. Oh crap. Dang it. I'll have to reset the thing. Yeah, Xemn's path is full of block puzzles. If you do not enjoy them, this area will be hell for you. I think this is the least... I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here right now. And as I said, the block puzzles with the glove means all the blocks will be there, you just have to move them around to try and get to where you're going. And you notice that one of those treasure chests was a fake, and I think it hit me for 7. But with that one was a real treasure chest, and it had one of my favorite items in the game. The spike boots. With these spike boots, you can just jump on enemies, and they will die. No frills, nothing fancy, just straight up death from above. And one other cool thing about these spike boots is that you notice that enemies respawn and they're in that little egg form or whatever the heck you want to call it. I call it the egg form, so there is normally no way you can kill them in that egg form. But with these spike boots, you can. So nothing is immune to the spike boots except for the area bosses. Which pretty much, frankly, you wouldn't want to get anywhere near them anyway, so spike boots is kind of a moot point. And here we're coming up to more block puzzles. Yep, the glove will be getting a heavy workout in this area. Sometimes I wish I could take Lyll in here, but I think if you had the right area item set up, you probably could, but it's probably more trouble than it's worth. There we go. So the spike boots in action. And the cool thing is, they don't use magic. Very nice. And while we're here, I'll just show what the shop's about. You see we have the magic potion and the elixir. Each of them are 45 gold. Frankly, even 30 is probably overpriced. Unless you really, really need them. At night, you see I just got a magic potion in one of the chests. With that magic potion, as long as you have it equipped, if your magic runs out, it'll refill it back up to 99. And the elixir does the same thing with life. Something that's very handy if you're not confident in where you're going, if you're not confident in your ability to survive. Right, get more health. And a new area. And, yep, even back in 1990, you had cat girls. But, just like any other enemy in here, they are a threat and must be dealt with accordingly. Moving more blocks around, goodness knows after you get this crown, you'll be sick to death of block puzzles. Come on, there we go. But one cool thing about this game, especially considering the time period it's from, you can move blocks and fire in 8 directions. Goodness knows there are games that even come later than this where you're restricted to 4, some games maybe even 2. And sometimes the handy in placement is a good way of eliminating falling damage. And there's a cross that destroys every enemy in the room. Ah, darn it. Alright. Ah, darn you. There we go. And moving down here. And we have 4 block puzzles to worry about. This looks like a good spot to stop for now. Come back next time and we'll continue on towards Xemn's crown. Until then, I am MeleeWizard and have a nice day.